what does it really cost to start a pressure washing business and be successful? So I'm going to start out as in two scenarios. One scenario is we got $10,000 to $20,000 and we have a nice honey hole that we can start a business. And scenario two will be you're starting out with 500 or $1,000. And so these are some important things that we're going to hit on. And so I will kind of work on what does it cost us to start a pressure washing business, how much, what we're kind of looking at. So if we're in point A, if we're in technician A of we got $10,000 to $20,000, I'm going to kind of go down of what we need, what we can do, and so that way you can start your pressure washing business and be successful. You can be successful both ways. I've got Jason Hefner, who is a good friend of mine now, that started his business with a 2.4 pressure washer and grew it and is going to do $250,000 in this year in 2022. And so 2-3 years later, he's been able to do that. So you can do the same thing. So first off, we need equipment. We need pressure washer, 4-gallon men or better. We need garden hoses, pressure wash hoses, maybe some ladders, different things, a surface cleaner, all of the little things that we can do. Now, this is stuff that we can get and we can buy, and we're going to be 10 to 15,000 in that. But whatever I tell you to do is whatever we spend in equipment, we need to spend that much money in marketing, because we can invest a whole lot of money in equipment and it doesn't make us money. Equipment does not make you money. What makes you money is marketing. Next thing is we need insurance. Insurance, we need general liability insurance. It can be anywhere from about $800 to $2,000-$3,000, depending on what state you're in, depending on where you're located at. That all factors in what is our cost for that. We're going to need commercial auto insurance. This way, if you get in a wreck with your equipment on the back, they can't sue you personally, get your personal assets, and all of those things. Some things that we might need is some like plant protection. A lot of your general liability does not cover your plant protection, so make sure that your plants are covered. You may want to have insurance to cover your equipment, so that way if something happens, you roll your truck, somebody steals your equipment, you got that covered. So that is another insurance stuff we can do. Marketing stuff. Like I say, how much ever we spend on equipment, we need to spend on marketing. Marketing is the key of growing a successful business. And again, we want to put 10 to 15% of whatever we make back into marketing. But in the beginning, we got to do marketing, whether that's yard signs, that's business cards, networking. There's a lot of free stuff we can do, and there's also a lot of stuff we can do to help us grow our business. So the free stuff is Facebook, Google My Business, all of that is on the free side. If we're going to do the paid side, we're in Google Ads, Facebook ads, yard signs. Again, yard signs, I'm a big proponent of yard signs. Yard signs work great when starting a pressure washing business, even if you have the cash flow to get your business going through that way. Some things that we need to think about legally. How much is it going to cost us to get our LLC? Usually, if you do it yourself, you're about $100 to $300-$400 to get your LLC, your business license, your tax registration, all of those things. Next thing is do a business plan. Start figuring out what is your goals? What is your goal as a pressure washing business? Is it to do $10 million? Is it to do $100,000? Is it to do $50,000? Is it to do $10,000? What is your goal? Put a business plan together with an outlining of your business goals, and then figure out your target market. Who does that person look like? Actually have an icon of what that person looks like, so that way we can start doing this stuff for that person. Next is, looking at, our CRM, our budget, to check and see our accounting software, right? How are we going to do QuickBooks? Are we going to have a CPA? All of these little things add up. And what you've learned, even doing the equipment, right? You buy all the big equipment and then you go buy this little bag of fittings if you're putting it together yourself, and that'll be $500. You're walking out of the store with like $500 sitting there and you're like, holy crap, I did not expect this to be so freaking high. And then the next thing is, you know, if we're going to hire people, right? If we're going to run this as a business and we're not going to work in the business 100%, or we want to grow the business, we got to figure out employees. What's it cost to have an employee? You know, we might think it's 15, 20 bucks an hour and that's it, but that's not the case. There's payroll taxes. There's 10 other things we got to do when they got uniforms. They got all these other things that come on when we hire an employee. So there's a lot of things that we have to think about when we are starting a pressure washing business. And so the cost of the pressure washing business, again, can be anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000. Now, let's go on. We don't have a lot of money, Jason. I don't have a lot of money. How can I start this pressure washing business and be successful? And I'm going to tell you how 2 people did it. They followed my program. They did what I told them to do. And this is how they've grown. And I've had several other people do the same thing. But a lot of people hear me talk about Greg Townsend, Jason, and both of them started with 2.4 pressure washer. Greg didn't even have a pressure washer when he started. And so I'm going to tell you to do the same thing. If you only have $500 or $1,000 to start, don't go buy a pressure washer. That's the dumbest thing you can do. That's the dumbest thing you can do, right? And so what you want to do is go buy yard signs, go buy marketing materials, go buy something that's going to get the phone to ring, because you can have the most nicest 4 gallon a minute, $1,000 piece of crap pressure washer there, but that's not going to get the phone to ring. So what I would tell you is go get 100 yard signs. They just keep them simple. They don't have to be, we want them simple, right? Pressure wash, one service, one big phone number, and I don't even care if you got the website on it. And don't do two-tone like this here. One service, one big phone number. That's what people will know and people will call it. And so with that, this is how we're going to get started. What you're going to do is you're going to go see if you got a Home Depot, or if you have a local rental store, and you will rent that pressure washer. You can rent a pressure washer, a surface cleaner, and some hose for $100 to $200. So you'll have about $300 in yard signs and a $200 rental of that. And what you're going to do is you're going to go get 3-4 jobs and put them on a weekend or whatever, and you're going to do those 2 or 3 jobs on that weekend. Now, you might need to go buy a downstream injector. So if you buy a downstream injector and you have some sodium hypochlorite, bleach, whatever you want to call it, this is how we can start with a low budget. So we don't have to have this big budget, but we have to have people calling us. I don't care if you go buy a $20,000 rig. I don't care if you go buy a $60,000 rig. And yes, there's rigs out there that are $60,000 and $100,000, and they will make you monthly payments and they'll promise you the world, but it will not bring you money in. If you do not know how to market, if you do not know how to answer the phone, if you do not know how to do these things, you will lose your butt, and you will sell that $20,000 rig for $10,000, and you'll sell that $60,000 rig for $30,000, and you will have a loss. And I don't want you to have a loss. And so what I'm going to tell you is just do it. Take action. There's nothing worse than not taking action. So if you've made it this far in the video, tell me your story down below. Tell me how you got started below. And if you have any questions, ask below, because I'm getting on a content marketing thing that I am going to do 1 video a day, hopefully, for 2023. So put me some comments down there so I can answer some questions in there. So hope you all have a great day, and I hope you're successful in your pressure washing journey.